So here it is, my career mode of the Formula 1 2014 game. Here we are driving for Ferrari, and let's see what we can do on our first ever season. So jumping straight into the qualifying results, we got off to Q2 very easily, and also in Q3 we made an absolutely great lap from Q2. Now heading on to Q3, so I'm going to show you my setup. And you can see on my setup I use no aerodynamics at all, because I really want that top speed into the straights. It really helps me put a good lap time together. And let's jump straight into the qualifying lap, opening the DRS. And now the lap started, up to 7th gear and 330 km per hour, getting a nice exit out of turn 2, opening the DRS again. And I have to say, the car is very oversteery. It really tends to be very oversteer out of the corners. As you can see here, I had to shift up very early to avoid that kind of oversteer. But as we're now heading to the second sector, no big mistakes so far. Braking hard, you can hear the tires screaming. We're now heading on to sector 3. As we hit the bollock there, very scary stuff, but no harm done, thankfully. Maybe I lost a turn or two. And now, having a lot of understeer after this corner, I actually shifted down to first gear and had this massive lockup. And now on to the last corner, having a lot of oversteer, but that's a lap, and hopefully we are in a good position, and we end up on position 1. So actually our time lap was very good, and let's see what the final result will be. And as we head to the guards, we are second, and that's where we finish. 1/10 behind Lewis Hamilton's time, but still pretty good result. Second on our first ever race. And let's head to our setup now, our strategy actually, as we are about to run option prime option, as our engineer suggests. Our tire wear is pretty bad, but we will see how this will be as we are going to start the race, heading out to the garage. So here we are on the lineup. Lewis Hamilton is in first, I'm in second, and our teammate Fernando Alonso is in 5th. So let's go, we got off to a nice start, on the first start ever in our career mode. And it seems we got off to a better start than Lewis Hamilton, and we passed him immediately. So now heading on to turn 1, we take things easily, and we actually marked them up. You can see we are already 2 seconds up from Vettel, who got past Lewis Hamilton. That's an excellent start, I have to say. So we are looking pretty good at the moment. Now heading on to the finish of the lap, you can see we maintain the gap. We actually tried to stretch off the lead. You can see it's 2.8 the gap between me and Vettel. Now on lap 6 we actually stretched the lead for about 6 seconds. So we are really pushing right now, trying to create the gap. But as you can see on the very next lap, our tire wear is pretty bad. Vettel already reduced the gap to 4.8 seconds. And I have to pit, the tires are pretty bad. You can see I have no real traction, and so it's time to pit for the prime tires. Hopefully we can get a better stint over those tires. Let's see how the pit stop is. So 3.7 seconds, very standard pit stop for the Ferrari crew in this game. As we go to the field again in 7th position. These guys ahead haven't beat it yet. And now jumping on to lap 15, you can see we try to stretch the gap again, as we are now 6 seconds ahead of Sebastian Vettel. 5.5 actually. But now jumping on to the end of this lap, you can see Vettel is slowly catching us. The gap is now 2.9 seconds, so our stint with the prime tires isn't the best yet. And now heading on to the end of the lap 17, you can see I have no real traction, and the car is pretty hard to drive right now. You can see I barely avoid the spin out there, and you can see so much oversteer out of the last turn, and now Vettel already caught us. 0.1 tenths the gap, so it's really time I have to pit as soon as possible, but actually as Vettel hasn't got quite enough straight line speed, I try to maintain him behind, and as you can see on lap 18, heading now to lap 19, Vettel tries to pass us from the side, but he brakes too early, and now Hamilton got his position, as we got a terrible exit now, but jumping straight to the end of this lap, and it's time to pit, of course. And unlike the first stint, the AI tends to stay for one more lap, so we undercut them now, as the pit stop is again 3.7 seconds, so decent stop for Ferrari. As we rejoined in 4th position. So we made the last pit stop, and now on the end of this lap other cars are pitting, and we should be rejoining first very easily, and yeah, that's the case. The undercut worked quite well, but the tire wear is pretty bad. I have no idea if I can make it to the end, because the prime tires actually lasted for 10 laps before they went off. And as you can see now, Fernando Alonso has pitted it. We lapped him, so no idea what has happened to him, maybe a crash or something, but I have a lot of understeer now, and Hamilton now got past us. So we try to dive bomb him from the side, really side by side stuff there, and hopefully we maintained, we gained it actually, first position back. And now we have to play very defensive there for the last lap. And now cutting on to the end of this race, we maintain the lead, and we go off to take our first ever victory. So pretty nice stuff here. Our first race on our career mode means that we will make our first ever victory. I can't be more glad about that. Unfortunately, Fernando Alonso couldn't finish the race. I think he had a crash or something because he had to pit again and then retired. But that's the Drivers' Championship. Of course, we finished first, so we are leading. And Red Bull actually is ahead of us on the constructors, because Ricciardo also scored some nice points. But yeah, that's it. Our first ever career mode done. I hope you enjoyed the race. Subscribe to my channel for more F1 content. See you guys next time.